Hello folks, Typhoon Carter here, and I bring to you DPP Revival Invitational 2. This is play-ins of Space Bracket first round between Baddy and Jabba the Griffin, going by Trainer Orange, and today I'll be joined by Atticus. How are you doing, man?
Doing well, excited to commentate this set.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself, like for the viewers watching at home who are hearing you for the first time.
Yeah, so this is the first time I've ever done commentary. I'm fairly ancient in the smoking community. I joined in 07, so I'm sure a lot of you guys weren't even born then, just to give a frame of reference. The main reason I wanted to commentate this set is Jabba actually was my tutor back in, I think, 2008. So he was one of like the earliest people that ever taught me anything about Pokemon. So it's cool to see him just active in the community in 2026. It's kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah. Jabba, he made classic playoffs in the last 2 years. Well, not this year because he didn't sign up for all the cups. And for those who don't know about Atticus, you won like OST almost 10 years ago, give or take. And you've been like a long time legend in the DPP scene. And some of the real old heads might remember Atticus for a particular incident in SPL that is kind of just funny to look back at it, but that's a story for another time though. And Baddy,
yeah, I'm sure Shake It Up will give you the rundown of that, as he's done 100 million times.
Yeah, anyways, so Baddy, relatively newer face. He's been in Smoke Tours playoffs. He's been an SPL player in these last couple years, so it's kind of an old versus new school matchup. But needless to say, let's jump right in. So we got Zapdos lead into an Empoleon lead. Zapdos just got sub up here instead, and Ice Beams to call it out. After his first turn, you see this, where are you kind of thinking from like both players?
I think that's the safest move, because if you Thunderbolt and he has Sash and then he Hydro Pumps you, it's miserable for the Zapdos. So it's like, I think that's probably a very good call to, like, I would generally, when I'm leading Zapdos, if I'm a defensive set, I try to Thunder Wave the Empoleon first, just because no one wants to lose their Zapdos turn one just to a Torrent Hydro Pump. That would really suck.
Yeah, and for the Empoleon player, it was probably Sash. I mean, I've seen some Empoleons just kind of go for Pump, but Jabba was probably afraid of missing early on as well. But we'll see how this plays out. Goes into Latias here and just subs again, so that's a nice move from Baddy. And question is, what's it good? Subs again, so it's actually slower, which is a bit jarring to see, because you played DPP like for a long time, even back in the day. Would you say slow Latias was as common back then, or?
Modest Latias did not exist. It was like almost exclusively timid. Most of it was choice specs, but like modest slow Latias was not a thing back in my day. This is, I think, the recent technology for sure.
Okay. And you're talking like way back when Salamence was like still legal in DPP.
Well, even after Ments, this is where it's like I might be having a Mandela effect, but I do recall a meta where Latias existed without Ments, but I don't know.
It was very brief.
Yeah, definitely no modest Latias in any era I've ever played until the recent day.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens here. Just go roost up here, trying to play around Thunderbolt. So Jabba might be carrying Draco here, probably just not wanting to get Spadef dropped.
What
do you do here if you're Baddy? Like if you're kind of like in a bit of a stalemate right now, where like neither player's active, and it's Life Orb Latias for that matter too, which finally gets the Toxic off though.
Yeah, I was wondering if he had the status.
Yeah, okay, gotta get another sub up again, and finally reveals the Draco here. And
Baddy's doing very well.
Yeah, so he's off to a good spot. EQ is shown. So Mixed Latias, was Mixed Latias ever a thing way back? Like it's seldom used in modern DPP.
It's like one of those, you'll see it once out of like 1,000 games. Like I have seen Earthquake Latias just because like obviously Spadef Heatran has always been a solid Latias check, so for those types of teams, the Earthquake was always a great option, but very rare, extremely rare.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Roos is up here. I mean, it's probably okay. There's the outrage, so yeah, it kind of makes sense. You want to be able to punch past something like Clef or Bliss, and that Latias is gonna go down, and Starmie's gonna show up. Just got Hydro Pump here. Doesn't tell us if it's Specs or not.
Well, I will say, sorry, just wanted to make a comment. Because he used Hydro Pump, it could honestly be Hydro, Rapid Spin, Thunder Wave, or he might be wanting to conceal whether he has Ice Beam or Thunderbolt for later in the game. And he's already behind, so he probably figures, I'll risk the Hydro Pump missing to either conceal information or maybe he had no other choice.
Yeah, and then Suicune's gonna come in here. I mean, it can probably... Oh, okay. Yeah, it eats another Pump. Goes into Empoleon, but if you're a Jabba, do you think this is like, you know, Ice Beam, Grass Knot, Pump, and then SR, like Aqua Jetless Empoleon here, if Jabba is willing to make this move?
It's tough to say, and also judging by that damage from the earlier turn, it's Starmie could also be Specs.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and you obviously can't... I mean, this Suicune actually looks like a massive threat right now to Jabba's team.
Yeah.
There's the Hin Power Electric. Knocks off here, interesting.
Yeah.
Jirachi here. Here, I mean, if you're Jabba, like, I mean, you could... Okay, yeah, doesn't want to risk, like, getting Thunderbolted U-turn to Starmie. So Jabba's trying to take a bit of that advantage back, and there's another Pump that looks like it's Specs damage. They'll go into Flygon here. Really nice Scout, and I mean, 19 turns in, you know, what do you... How are you feeling, like, who do you think has the advantage here?
Definitely looks like Baddy.
Yeah.
But Jabba's been playing well, and even that U-turn off Jirachi was a very nice move to not get kind of locked into Ironhead in a... You know, against the Heatran. He's trying his best, but it does seem like he's on the back foot right here.
Yeah. U-turns again, only doing 18% into Jirachi, and just Hidden Power Electrics again, so Baddy probably trying to predict that Empoleon or Starmie switch there. And finally, Rocks are finally going to go up 20 turns into the game. And Heatran probably going to get Rocks up. Okay, yeah, there's the classic Rocks handshake here, and Suicune's going to go down here. But that is going to invite Gengar in instead. This Baddy's team looks like very similar to something that Jabba himself or Void would have used in relatively recent times.
I've seen that structure before without Gengar.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bit of a rough miss there, but we'll at least get it this time. So no Aqua Jet from Empoleon. And Scissor's going to show up here, and if you're Baddy, I mean, if it's Black Sludge, I think Will-O-Wisp here is like probably a safe play because you will be able to live that Bullet Punch. But
just praying for a miss there.
Yeah, okay. Oh, it's Life Orb Sizz, but I mean, yeah, Java's team is cool, but I will say I don't really love Life Orb on Sizz, especially on this kind of team. I feel like longevity is just kind of a big problem here.
I don't mind it, but it's one of those scenarios where it's excellent versus Stallman can kind of be
nice EQ there.
Yep. Really nice predict there.
Yeah. And okay, yeah, so both players just EQing, playing a game of chicken here, and good. Yeah, EQ again? No, just gotta get outrage here. Yeah, I mean, I think a steal was fairly obvious for a last here, but that is... Oh, Jabba may have actually gotten a little bit unlucky there, getting a free turn outrage instead of a 2-turn there, and yeah, I think Baddy's gonna have this sealed up, unless no, it's leftovers. Yeah, so no Shuka there, and Flygon will.
It's pretty done.
Yeah, and that actually didn't kill. Okay. Reminds me of how weak Flygon's power can be sometimes.
Yeah, Jolly Flygon, I've always said, is just... It's so pathetic. Like, it almost feels like you have to run Adamant, but then just on certain teams, you absolutely do need to be able to, you know, outrun
plus
the
2
base
Tar.
100s.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Gyarados obviously too. Jolly
Yeah.
Gyara can be a pest.
Yeah, but Baddy's gonna get this, take this game 1. What are your thoughts on this game, like overall? Do you think there were maybe any spots where you know, maybe a sequence was less than ideal, or like just awkward spots for either player?
It almost felt like the beginning kind of set the tone when the Zapdos scouted out the Empoleon, then took out the Latias, and it was still alive, and it just seemed to frustrate Jabba a lot early. As
Yeah.
for specific turns, I mean, both players played well. I feel like Jabba made some great predictions as well.
Yeah,
It's
he
kind of
did.
one of those.
Yeah.
It was well played all around. I can't really spot any egregious errors.
Yeah, maybe in the builder, like, I mean, like, I don't know, like mix Latias is like a cool idea, but I'm not sure if this is like I don't really think this is necessarily the kind of team where you really have that luxury, per se. Even though, like, yeah, you have like a lot of way. I get it, you want to be able to punch past like Clef Scarm and whatnot, but like it just felt a little bit too potential mon as far as sets go.
Yeah, he was cooking there for sure. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, again, I know Fear ran something like this in Classic Finals versus another old head in PDC in last year with mixed Latias, but even that like couldn't quite get the job done, especially with Sand being I know it was a factor in this game, but like, you know, just in general in DPP. But you know, regardless, we got game 2 to go through. So game 2 here. Let's jump right in. So we got Tyranitar lead and a Swampert lead. And then T-Tar probably doesn't want to stay in here regardless of set. Go into Latias.
Yeah, nobody's running.
Surf.
No one's running HP Grass and DP.
Okay, we'll see how this goes. Latias got Draco into a Metagross. That might be a defensive meta. Into a Specs Lati, and Magnezone's here. So Magnezone probably just gonna Magnet Rise here. I mean, if you're Jabba, you probably just want Explode here, right? If you have it.
You could tempt fate with a mash, but yeah, exploding early is generally safest.
Yeah, get your guaranteed value. And Gyarados is gonna show up here. And then Jabba looks like he's running some kind of a blue offense or water spam. And then for Baddy, like, what do you think he's probably carrying in the back here? Like early on, you see Tar, you see Lati, and then you see Lefty's Magnezone with Magnet Rise.
It almost feels like a Stolly team, but I can't guarantee, because I've seen,
yeah,
you know, those T-Tar, Lati, Clef,
yeah,
kind of with the Magnezone, but it's hard to tell right off the bat.
Yeah. And then for Java's team, I mean, I feel like you need to have like probably a Tox Zap check. Unless this Swampert is Refresh, which honestly could be the case given its Rocks meta. That's like kind of a cool way to get around something like Sub-Zapdos, so maybe Jabba was still, didn't really want to deal with that kind of Zap again after game 1.
Yeah. I think you're spot on though with the water spam. I wouldn't be surprised if the Swampert was 4 attacks.
Quagsire's gonna show up here. Quagsire could either be Curse or, you know, Tox Encore here, but we'll see what's up. Curse is here. I mean, if you're Starmie, okay. There's the trick. Nothing too surprising. I really don't know about Baddy letting that Quagsire get tricked, though, especially after the Starmie showed no lefties recovery in the sand. But
yeah,
do you think he maybe had a better sack, like to the specs?
He could have, like, the T-Tar would obviously be an easy choice there, but again, I may have been respecting the Specs Hydra there.
Yeah, for sure. Latias
could potentially be, or even like Magnezone in this matchup may not be, like, it's kind of already killed the meta, and I don't think there's anything really else he specifically needs the zone for. Maybe Sack and Zone could have been a potential option there too.
Yeah, but we'll see how this plays out. We'll see what Baddy's follow up here. I'd probably just go T-Tar here. Or Magnezone. Yeah, Magnezone works too. Can't let it go. Should be an easy suit trap here for the T-Tar. There's the pump. And there's the crunch. So that's going to go down right there and then. And Baddy regaining a slight lead. But not for long, though. And Gyarados just got a waterfall, so T-Tar's done its job. And the Quags, yeah, a bit of an awkward spot for Baddy though, given that Quagsire was, you know, the best Gyro check that, you know, Baddy had on his team. And then, I mean, if you're Jabba here, I mean, I think you gotta have a second steal or like a suitor that can get rid of Latias, but we'll see how this plays out. There's the T-Tar, there's the Draco, so yeah, that's a Specs Draco. And just got Draco
water
again.
spam's looking good here.
Yeah, just gotta take your kill, but yeah, I mean, this Scizor here, ooh, I mean, Scizor Zone, yeah, that makes sense synergistically. I know like some DPP structures have been kind of working around these double win condition style teams, like these Fats with like, you know, like Quagsire, and then maybe SD says, but could just be CB here. Like, you know,
I would guess SD, but
yeah. I mean, do you see a way out for Baddy in this scenario right now?
How much health is the Swampert at?
Oh, it's 100. Hasn't taken a single.
Okay, it's looking tough. It's looking tough for Baddy. I mean, and the Gara too. I mean, it could be a free SD here. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure, because if that Gyarados is taunt, like, forget about it. I'll say that much. There's the Gyro.
And he doesn't even have rocks either.
Yeah, and nothing. Yeah, it's lefties. Unless this was natural gift or something, that was like the only way I could see Baddy getting out of that. Oh, but huge crit though, at the very least. I don't know, but I think
needed that one.
yeah, got EQ there, do 36%. Oh, okay. Maybe he has a shot to get out of this. But that Swampert's just gotta eat this up. Oh! Okay, maybe there's a chance.
Well, yeah, there's definitely a chance now.
Oh! right as we say that, just unfaw's not what the Scizor wants to see. And has to roost up now and hope that he doesn't get crit by this EQ.
Or waterfall flinched. Oh my gosh.
Oh, and Gengar for that matter. I mean, S-Balls here, that is not good because, like, you risk putting it into torrent range for that matter too. And even the Quagsire, it's like, hold the phone. Hold the phone on that one. But if this is Scarf Latias though, you know, Jabba should have this in the bag. There's one Draco.
Yeah, this is a classic DPP game if I've seen one.
Tyranitar's here, gonna get sacked. I mean, the Quagsire is already locked in. Yeah, just intimidate. Try to give yourself more room for error. But
that should do it.
Yeah. Thoughts on this game?
I mean, it just felt like it all happened so fast, and I couldn't even keep track of how much hacks there was in that sequence of 5-6 turns there. I honestly, I expected something more defensive based on the beginning of Baddy's team, and then kind of just threw me off guard a bit with the Gengar.
Yeah, I mean it's a kind of a cool take on kind of like bulky offense, because usually when you see lead tar, you're thinking, yeah, this is either a hard stall or like just a very
that's what I expected.
Yeah, for sure. And then it's kind of a cool way because sometimes these lead T-Tar teams suffer from being a little bit too passive. But Latias, I know, like, you know, offensive Latias on like these T-Tar teams is kind of a newer innovation we've seen in DPP, just so that you have a way to like not be completely passive versus some certain offenses like DD spam or whatnot. And then, you know, Gengar was probably Whisk Taunt too. But, you know, Jabba getting it done, like, just, we kind of see how, you know, like, water spam sometimes can just overload these teams, especially one with Quagsire. But I think Baddy
that was the turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, the trick on Quag kind of decided it, because after then it just did not feel like Jabba was ever on the back foot. So much momentum after he tricked that Quag.
Yeah, but you know, they're tied 1-1. We got a game free though. Loser's gonna have to go home fairly early, and it'd be disappointing to see either player go out fairly early. So let's go right in. Empoleon lead into a Swampert lead. This is an interesting lead matchup here. I mean, because like Empoleon could be carrying Grass Knot, and then for Swampert, you know, obviously Pert always has like Stab, Earth Power, or EQ to threaten it. What do you do here if you're both players? Like, you know, your turn 1, what are you feeling?
I feel like generally Swampert has to switch out here unless it's some crazy stat with like Rindo or Sash or something. But I don't expect. Again, if you're really feeling Gamba, I guess you could just try to Rocks or Earthquake with Swampert. But I mean, you have to respect the Grass Knot, right?
Yeah, even Pump would still do a lot to this Pert too.
Yeah.
But oh, actually stayed in.
Oh my god.
So that's a bit of a jarring turn to see, and Jabba just lets it go for no real reason, and instead sets up for a Magneton trap. But I feel like this is a turn that could easily backfire, especially given that this Empoleon, I don't think it showed right away that, you know, it was like, because that Ice Beam did like 82 to that Pert. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if it's Sash, it can easily backfire, but we'll see what happens. Okay, no. Rose is gonna show up, so Empo Rose. There's the Toxic Spikes, although I don't know how useful that's gonna be. Mash is here, Lefty's Tran, okay.
Should be Rocks. Nope,
yeah.
Doesn't risk it, playing it super safe.
Yeah, scouts it, but you see this, I mean, this is probably like Specs Laddie, so, you know, I think U-turn's pretty free here. If you're Jabba, you know, turn 7, you're a little bit behind right now, especially with the T-Spikes being a major nuisance. Like, what are you thinking here if you're Jabba?
Well, definitely probably can't stay in because you risk, obviously, U-turning into a T-Tar potential trapper. I mean, the only thing is U-turn's going to keep the momentum, and the Toxic Spikes too. We don't know how much they're going to play into this. It depends on his remaining 2, but that's obviously a huge factor too on your switching.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens here. Oh, just got hard switch instead. Not wanting to take a single risk at all, and that's a defensive Laddie. So there's the T-Wave, and full Para's there. I mean, this has to be Reflect, right? Oh, okay, there is the T-Tar. That's gonna get T-Spikes might be, that's gonna be really annoying, especially if Jabba's relying on T-Tar to be his primary progress maker. Ooh, we don't know if it's CB or not, but we'll find out. Okay, Rose here, and oh, okay, I think that might be a CB Tar.
Definitely.
Yeah. And Suicune's gonna show up here and probably gonna try to use this turn. Okay, yeah, just gotta get rid of the Tar, take no risk. This Laddie ass, geez. I mean, you know, 12 turns in, both players only have 1 unrevealed left. How are you feeling, like, game state wise for both these players? Even though it's like fairly early, but a lot's happened already.
Well, you would think that Baddy's last has got to be some kind of Lati check, because it's like, obviously, even though Spadef Tran is solid, it's not going to do the job, especially when you have to respect the spec serve. So I'm expecting either a steal or a T-Tar of his own, something definitely able to take care of that Lati.
Yeah, for sure. And then for Jabba, you know, like, how are you feeling, like, if you're Jabba in this game state? Because that Suicune actually looks like a menace right now.
Yeah, and it's really tough because it's like the Suicune is so dangerous, but you also, if you Draco here and he traps you, then it could be good night too. So I would say definitely Jabba's, he's got to have to make a big play here. It could be something really ballsy, like, but he definitely seems like he's the one that's on the ropes.
Yeah, and then not to mention, like, well, Latias could cripple the Suicune with T-Wave, but even then you'd probably eat a significant amount from Ice Beam on the way out, and then you could try to pivot to meta and try to make a play that way, but we'll see what happens here. T-Bolt's here, so it's Bolt Beam, which is interesting. You actually don't see that super often on Lefty's Latias, but I can kind of get the rationale. You want to have a way to deal with Gyarados, because, you know, Magnet or Jolly D-Knight for that matter, it can be a little bit flimsy sometimes. And there's the Rotom. So that is Baddy's showing a double Scarf structure here. Bit of an interesting structure. I don't know if this is more of a revival of like a older style team. Would you have seen this way more like during your earlier years, or like, you know, pre-sleep ban, for that matter?
This particular start, I don't think I've seen it, like even the last two games. I've seen the water spam. I've seen Baddy's earlier team remind me of like these French teams I've seen in the past, but I can't recall seeing this type of specific structure. It's a little tough to say. And again, like I was saying, I was thinking that his last would be able to handle Lati, but he's being really, I don't want to say not respecting Lati.
I think it's probably Spidetheros. Yeah, that's the only other way that would make sense for him to justify this.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
You know what I mean? Seems like he was playing into the Lati a bit, but maybe again he felt like this gave him the best matchup versus Jabba.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens. We'll see how Jabba follows up with this. Good follow up with his own mag, which is a bit concerning.
Yeah, you never want to see that in this situation.
Yeah, and Flashcan trying to catch a Flygon on the way here, but this Magneton's still gonna take a significant amount on the way out. Jeez. I mean, if I'm Baddy, I'm feeling pretty good about this. Wow. 6%, so like that is sad. Damage output wise.
Good old Spadef, it's just a beast.
Yeah. I mean, it gets overshadowed a bit just because of Clef sometimes, but like, yeah, sometimes you really forget just how overwhelming it can be. And the last is D-Knight here. D-Knight's just got EQ there, doesn't want to risk an explosion. And then this Rotom Heat might have HP Ice, so we'll... Okay, yeah, there's the HP Ice, and I think that's gonna do it, because unless this is agility meta, that's like the only way I see Jabba getting out of this. Okay, there's the Rock Polish. There's the Flygon.
Trendy for agility.
Yeah, I mean, in this scenario, you know, like if you're Jabba, you know, I mean, I feel like the only way he gets out of this if it's like Shuka, and then, you know, say it's Shuka, he eats up the EQ, and then he rock polishes one more time, and then, because I think there's a real shot that Jabba could get out of this pretty handily, but we'll find out soon enough. Oh,
that's a killer.
Jesus.
Oh my. Well, in fairness, I don't think Mash would have killed at that range. It's looking like that was an adamant Flygon. I was surprised that Earthquake even killed.
I'm surprised that the Metagross was actually faster than the Flygon, but I guess, it might have been a CB gone.
Yeah, I couldn't, the CBs.
Yeah, and then CB, yeah, so Double Scarf would have been a little bit, would have been interesting. I know it can definitely work, but Baddy's gonna win this series 2-1, and he is going to move on in space bracket, and Jabba's gonna be sent home a bit early, which is a bit unfortunate, but Atticus, what's your overall thoughts on this series?
I mean, all three games were close. You couldn't really say any were blowouts. It was pretty well fought. I mean, both players made great predictions.
Yeah.
The only real two kind of huge blunders I can recall was Baddy losing the Quag to the Trick, and then in Jabba's, I think that was just like you mentioned earlier, more of a builder issue with the Latias having to come in against the Zapdos, and then it just kind of got withered away by some good predictions by Baddy. But overall, like, I can't really say anyone choked. It was just, it was a well-played set.
Yeah, I think this game, the Swampert on Empoleon sequence was a little bit awkward, per se, but it's hard to say that it was like the wrong move.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I forgot about that. But staying in on an Emp turn 1 is like madman stuff. He was really, like, I feel like he was just, you know, it's game 3, I gotta be ballsy, and then he made a little bit of a, what do they call them, the button clicker move, where it's all logic goes out the window, let's just try to catch him off guard. And I mean, it kind of worked. Like, he took a nice beam, it's just unfortunate it crit, but yeah, he definitely could have played it a bit differently for sure. And
yeah, and you know, I guess closing remarks, you know, what's your feelings on DPP, you know, now that sleep is like out of the picture, you know, especially for somebody who's played this tier for so long and seeing kind of a very different version of DPP per se?
I think it's an excellent change. Like, I was never a fan of Breloom in general as a Pokemon with Spore. It just kind of felt very suffocating in the builder, and it's like, you know, I'm sure a lot of other people that have played a lot more have mentioned just like fitting in sleep talkers in this tier can be so awkward, and it's just it's a breath of fresh air to be able to not have to worry about that. Now it sucks that, you know, stuff like Rose Raid, sorry, obviously they lost some of their tools and they got nerfed a bit as a consequence of this, but to me it's a huge benefit to the tier, and I think the games have been a lot better in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. And I think even something like Rose has had like some new stuff up, like some new tricks or old tricks pulled out of its bag, you know, like double hazards, like, you know, T-spike spikes, or like just stun spore, because like, you know, paralysis is still, you know, doing its thing in this tier as always.
Yeah. It was cool to see Rose in this game too, because it's not like it's gone extinct. It still has a niche. It's just probably the power level's a little lower, but I mean, people like Baddy seem to be able to fit it in still, so
yeah,
happy to see that.
Yeah. Regardless though, for everyone watching, if you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, and consider donating to DPP Revival Invitational 2's prize pool. We're currently sitting at about $300 at the time we're recording this, and if you guys can drop a donation, that would be much appreciated. And any final words before we sign out?
Keep supporting DPP. It's 20 years strong right now. I mean, it's awesome, and I honestly I can't say enough about it. I love the community, and it's good to be back after you know, basically not playing for over a decade. It's nice to see everything just playing out the way it is, and it's a fun tier. It's fun for sure.
Yeah, and we will see you guys next time.